trying to expand the game here. So, the Yankees are playing the Red Sox in London at the end of the month. They played a game in Mexico. They played in Japan. But what I heard earlier this week kind of made me scratch my head. I don't quite understand how this would work. And I don't think the Player Association would approve of this. But earlier this week, there were reports out there that Major League Baseball has given the Tampa Bay Rays permission to explore playing games in Montreal. When I first heard this, I was thinking maybe they're looking just to move out of Tampa. As good as the Tampa Bay Rays are, they never have fan support. Anytime you go play Tampa, it's like you're at a home game because they don't have a big fan base. Like when the Yankees are in town or something, it's basically Yankee Stadium.
Right.
Just really crappy.
Well, they're in like a retirement community.
Right. So it's a shame because you're talking about it. They have a very good team.
Yeah.
And do it in a very creative way. Kevin Cash, I have so much respect for the way that he has evolved the game and changed baseball with the opener and everything else. Every team's now trying to do it. They have done so many unique things and have done so many things right. Not like the other team in Florida, Miami, you look at all the guys they've traded over the years, and it's like that's a World Series team if you kept all of them.
Right.
But it's a shame because they don't get the support. So I was thinking at first maybe this team is looking to move out of Tampa. Their numbers are down, so I was thinking maybe they'll become Montreal. Montreal used to have a team, So that's not the case, though. Baseball has given them permission to explore Montreal to split home games in Tampa, but also Montreal. I am not quite sure how that works. What are they, the Montreal Tampa Bay Rays? Like, I don't understand that. How does that work? How does that play out? Is this the dumbest idea that you guys heard? Because I'm thinking it is pretty stupid so far. Josh, what do you think?
It's a little odd to me. I mean, normally if you see these, like with the Buffalo Bills, they go to Toronto.
Right.
Toronto's
for a game,
like a not very far away from Buffalo.
Right.
But we're talking about going from, the lower part of the United States to Canada.
Hey.
It's kind of ridiculous. But hey, if you've seen some of the mashups of the Rays logos with the old Montreal Expo logos, they could do some damage with meshing these logos together. That's the only plus.
That's the only plus. That's the only plus we got there.
But I tend to say I tend to think that this is maybe more so of a warning shot to the Tampa Bay area. Like,
right.
hey, we're going to take half your games away.
I don't think they care.
Maybe they don't.
I don't think they care.
We'll take half your games away, move them up to Montreal. And, oh, by the way, traveling from Montreal to all these other teams in the Northeast that would play gives us, a smaller amount of travel. I think it's more of a warning shot that we're going to move to Montreal or move out of Tampa.
It might be that. It might be to explore it, to see how the fan base is, and eventually just make a full-time move.
It's just completely odd because you go from one region to a whole nother country. It's insane.
I just don't get how you do that.
It's ridiculous.
How do you view this?
Well, it makes me think about, it's interesting Josh said that because I was thinking along the same lines. It makes me think about, you remember when IHOP was going to try to become IHOB?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They were going to change like International House of Burgers, like who goes to IHOP for burgers. But anyway, this is kind of, I mean, I agree with Josh. This is, look, we're going to move this team. This is kind of like you're saying, a warning shot. I think it's also exposure because if we all remember when IHOP decided they wanted to change their name to IHOB, we all of a sudden started talking about IHOP and people people said they really cared about their pancakes, whatever. Anyway, the Rays are getting exposure off of this, and any press is good press, right? And so I think it's maybe a tool to see how the area is going to respond, a marketing pitch to see how the area is going to respond. And they may respond. I mean, they haven't given them a new stadium. They've been begging for a new stadium. The team's got young players their future is really bright if they keep these guys. They're in, second place in the AL East?
Yes.
And they're only a couple games back. If I mean, I don't know exactly how many games back.
3.5.
3.5.
Yeah.
So they're just right there, and they also have the wild card spot.
Yeah, they're comfortably ahead in the wild card. I think.
Yeah.
A few games ahead.
They got the lead there. I know the Red Sox are approaching though. They're only 3 games back. The Red Sox for the second, spot in the East and in the wild card. So they're coming up.
But I mean, I agree with Josh. This is a shot to say, hey, look, if you're not going to support this team, if you're not going to approve a new stadium, if you're not going to come out and support the Rays, who are really good, have really good young players. I mean, it was just 2008 or 9 they were in the World Series. But they had Evan Longoria and not Joey Crawford, but Carl Crawford. I don't know who Joey Crawford is. But anyway,
he's a basketball player.
Is he an NBA
that's what I was
referee?
thinking. I thought is he a referee?
I think he's.
I think Joey Crawford's referee.
Yeah. Okay. So I know there's a Crawford, not Jamal Crawford, but there's another one that has a thing. But yeah, that's a referee.
Jordan Crawford.
Yeah, but I think it's like a warning shot saying that, hey, look, because it does make more sense to put the team in Montreal they're in the AL East. So it's just kind of weird that they would be in Florida and the rest of the teams are right there in the northeastern part of the United States. And so I see it as a warning shot, like Josh said, to, hey, look, if you're not going to support this team, we're willing to not only split home games, but we're willing to just move altogether. So I mean, Montreal used to have the Expos, and then they became the Nationals, and so they, Toronto loves their.
It would
Canada
make more
loves their
sense
teams,
if it was like, hey, we're going to play some games in Jacksonville.
Right.
That's an hour or two away, but this is
like
this is
even
drastic.
go down to Puerto Rico or something like that. I mean, that happened with the who was it that had to play some games in Puerto Rico for some home games? I think it was the Expos. They played some games in Puerto Rico, but yeah. What do you think, Mitch? What do you? Besides being stupid,
I just don't quite understand how this is going to work, and I can understand that maybe they're exploring a different city because they don't have fans in Tampa. There's nobody that's really and really in Florida themselves. Let's be honest, the fan base is not that great. Even with the Miami Heat when they had the big 3,
it never has been.
You would look and watch the game, nobody was there until like the end of the first quarter. Then people showed up and they wanted to pretend like they were the biggest Heat fan on the planet or something like that. And then LeBron left, and then it's back to empty. I
think the Marlins,
the Dolphins have a pretty good fan base. Like they're
it's
there's a lot of Dolphin fans. There are, but other than that,
I think the Marlins have an excuse though, because like Marlins fans, we've won 2 World Series, right? They've won 2, and they also beat the Cubs. I don't want to talk about that, but anyway. They've got 2 World Series, and then it's been, after they win the World Series, it's just a complete fire sale. They get rid of everybody, Yeah. And it just doesn't make sense that you would do that, but they do it anyway. And they just had another fire sale. And think about it. They have Christian Yelich, who's going to be the National League MVP. He was last year. He's probably going to be it again this year. Leads the league in home runs. You have Carlos Stanton, who's the left fielder he plays for the Cardinals now.
Marcell Ozuna.
Yeah. They could have had a really good team. As we just said, they could have potentially been in the World Series.
I got some. We'll have to jump to a break here, but I got something that will explain what we're talking about when it comes to like Miami and the team they have. But just to wrap up this discussion, I'm not sure how it works. I'm not. I think it's to look at a different city because, again, Tampa does not have a fan base. And it's a shame because they are a good team and they have put a strong team together in the last, 7 to 10 years.
Yeah.
They used to be just a base on automatic win. That's what it was, when they in the early 90s, when they were the Devil Rays. They were so bad.
Right.
And when it changed to the Rays, that became respectable and they do things the right way. They develop pitching. I think it's the best organization when it comes to developing pitchers. They seem to get the most out of every pitcher they have. They do such a tremendous job with that. It's a shame. I don't know how you can split it. I think if you're going to make a move, you got to make a move and go somewhere else because you're not going to get a new stadium, even though they do need one because of power failures, all that stuff. But it's a very weird situation. I don't even think it's going to get improved by the Player Association. So we'll see if that comes to anything. I'm not sure it does. But we'll jump to a break. We'll come back. We'll wrap up hour number 1 here on the Saturday Sports Report.